Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Fifth Black Lights, we take a look at this. And what this is from Uncle Chainsaw, it is the Terrifyer. Let's have a look. Very, very nice. I would have been predisposed to like this sauce, even if my resemblance would not have been here. And we do have a sort of Temple of Flame motif going on here. I like it. I back it. It's good. Uncle Chainsaw is actually a hot sauce company I like quite a lot. It is coming from the, look at this metal! This is coming from the desert adjacent Utah. And we've got, let's not get too nasty, refrigerator after opening. I back that 100%. Let's not get too gnarly 1 year after opening. You know, I don't know if, yes, actually I can say I have had sauces open in my fridge, actually over a year since opening, which is usually unusual. Usually I toss them before then, but very occasionally I'll hem and haw and, you know, kind of kick the can down the road until I like, oh shit, I might as well just get rid of it, because if I haven't used it by now, I'm never ever gonna know it. All right, so we got vinegar, we've got Fresnos, we've got garlic, we've got salt. So yeah, this is, like I said, a lot of this stuff is after my own heart. I really, really love this. They have maybe my favorite label art of any company, and they're not in my favorite hot sauce companies list as of yet, because prior to this I only had one sauce, but it was a magnificent sauce. I liked it quite a bit. This sauce uses one of my very favorite peppers, the Fresno, and is very, I mean, you can see it is super loose, but you can also see there's a lot of pepper in there. So this is one you need to agitate quite a bit. You can, like, it will not stay suspended, given there's only 4 ingredients in it. The garlic I don't think reads a whole lot. So, I mean, it's almost like a Louisiana style with Fresnos rather than cayenne. But if there is one reservation I have about this, I do wish it was a little bit less loose. But I mean, definitely, I think the refrigeration is a good touch. When I encountered this, I'm trying to remember, I probably got it at one of Roger's fantastic locations of Burn Your Tongue. And you can definitely check him out on social media, and the Facebook and the Instagram. I encourage you to do that. He's, to my mind, one of the most positive forces in the entire chili headspace. And I think that guy has, at least, where people have interacted with him, has introduced maybe more people to the sort of, maybe not chili head lifestyle. He's got a sort of companion to the Burn Your Tongue, which is spice curious, and I think that's where a lot of people lie. And I think he definitely has sort of enhanced and developed that with a lot of folks. But anyway, back to the sauce here. We've got, I mean, it's very slightly red in the center, but it's more orange red, I would say. Really, I mean, it's a lovely looking sauce. I like the little bits of peppers floating around in there. I think that's cool. Yeah, I mean, this was you know, as long as the execution was there, this was probably not a sauce. You know, I was never not going to like it. You know, I'm very predisposed to to this type of thing. So let's get into it. We get a lot of the wonderful Fresno flavor. Boy, I love summer. Just I'm getting a sheen here, filming this. Obviously, it's a bit before you'll see it, but I think it highlights the Fresno extremely well. And Fresnos to me are the perfect balance of a pepper that is very intensely and wonderfully flavorful, and also just starts to creep into heat a little bit. But they're more delicious than anything else to me, and one of my happiest discoveries as a chili head was the Fresno peppers. And I don't know that I would have encountered them outside of, you know, the context of being a chili head, because the chili head, every time you well, at least for me, every time you come across a new chili pepper that you're not familiar with, I start looking into it going, what is this? You know, what is it? Where's it derived? You know, kind of where does it fall into the general scheme of pods? And Fresno is, for lack of a better term, I suppose probably you could consider it maybe a double jalapeno, right in there. Double red jalapeno. It's got that nice sweetness to it, just that outstanding flavor. But it's not a scorcher by any stretch of the imagination. Red. The more I do this too, the more I really start to gravitate towards red pods. I'm noticing, like Serrano in particular. The green ones I dislike, but the red ones, magnifique. All right, so I've got here, it's summer, and lately it's been hot enough I just haven't really wanted to eat anything heavy. I haven't really wanted to eat a lot of anything, but definitely not anything heavy. So I've got some of these breaded green beans here. And so these are an interesting vehicle because, I mean, they're breaded, and as long as you air fry them and don't deep fry them, I think there's a degree of healthiness to them. At least ways I'm saying there is. And I defy any debate on that. And so they're kind of the best of both worlds, because you've got a lot of the really nice green bean flavor, but you've also got a sort of breaded, not quite deep fried unless you deep fry them, but not quite deep fried component to these as well, which really works well with sauces like this. But it also, one of my favorite things is to throw on like a sweet hot onto these. I was actually going to try this sauce on something different, but for some reason I thought it had sugar in it. One of the things I really, really like, and I noticed this with the other sauce too, one of my favorite things about Uncle Chainsaw is their ingredient selection. Very high end. Very, I think maybe the sauce architect is a chef, possibly. I wouldn't be surprised. The sauces just feel very deliberate. There's a number of them I can't have because they have onions in them, but the ones I have, the other one was a Calabrian something, and that one just gorgeous. Really nice flavor. I enjoyed that sauce quite a bit. No real heat. I mean, it's Calabrians, but despite the scary and slightly aggressive sounding names, like I would not call a Fresno-based hot sauce Terrifyer, and I sort of, I sort of question that decision a little bit, but maybe it was meant to be tongue-in-cheek. But if you want a hot sauce that is very flavor first, any of Uncle Chainsaw's are probably worth a look. And of course, you know, the name Uncle Chainsaw I get tickled by. A lot of people may not necessarily believe that chiles or peppers are a fruit, and you can really get a lot of the fruitiness of the pods out of this sauce as well. But again, it's just a great platform. It's a great vehicle. It's Fresno. Fresno peppers are wonderful. This is a touch loose as a sauce, though. Again, sort of getting into the Louisiana Cajun type thing. One of the interesting things here is the garlic is after the peppers, which means it should be after the peppers in terms of flavors, and it is. This is it seems to be pretty carefully designed, because the balance there is just super nice. The garlic is there more as a grace note. It is not, you know, sometimes you get a hot sauce with garlic in it and you now have a garlic sauce with some chilies. And that is not, you know, for me, most of the time, not what I want. Like, if I wanted a garlic sauce, I could just make one. You know, I'm looking more for a pepper forward hot sauce. 99.9 times out of 100. This one uses it just really, really well. Like I said, it is much more as a grace note to sort of accent and complement the Fresnos, but you really, really get a good sense of the Fresnos in this more than anything else. There is somewhat of a vinegar hit though as well. So again, like I said, I mean, it doesn't have the sort of acrid bite of a Louisiana style sauce, like a Cayenne style sauce that you want, that punchiness of an astringent garlic and cayenne, a cayenne black reinforced vinegar, if you will, sort of punch through whatever rich food you might be eating. Whereas this one, I think, is not, it's not quite that, but honestly, I would put this anywhere. I would put this anywhere you're going to use that. But it's another of those, I've said this before in other reviews as well, it's another sauce that to me is high-end and delicious enough, just like their other entry was, that I kind of want to save it for something, for a food that I like maybe more than others, for something, you know, sort of special, so that the food can rise to the level of the sauce, if you will. This falls pretty directly into that category for me. So just another fantastic sauce. I mean, there's no mistaking it. And if Uncle Chainsaw has others, I need to look, because I think some newer ones came out maybe this year. But if there are other ones that don't have onions that I can have, I will definitely need to find my way into picking those up. Absolutely. And I do like that they do a really, really nice job of highlighting the ingredients here. You can see they're underneath the nutritional facts. They're bolded. So I like that. I really appreciate that. I admire that considerably. And yeah, just a fantastic entry from Uncle Chainsaw. We'll leave it right there. So that was the Uncle Chainsaw, the Terrifyer hot sauce. Now go pull in peace to serve the flame.